So, yes.
Do you have any idea what the timeline will be?
I don't think it's gonna, certainly a few months, and I don't know, Mary, please step up if you have some comments, but I would expect it to be a few months at least.
Yeah, I would think it would be a couple of months. We'll have to work on developing a portal for applications. The concept is that there would be a portal with some sort of basic, a basic application that organizations would complete. We'll probably model that off of one of the versions that finance created for all of the various ARPA applications. So just the process of developing the application, getting that all set up, I would think we're near the end of February. I would hope that by early April we'll have something together. And then staff will collect all of the applications, but then divide them amongst the districts so that each board member is getting the same type of information from each organization.
And then will it be up to the board members of that district to decide how the funds are distributed?
That's the concept, is that the 3 board members from each district would come together and make decisions. I think we're talking about, and this is all tentative, we're talking about probably a maximum of $20,000, $24,999. So basically it would be under the Human Services Committee purview.
Which that means that once those committee members decided how they wanted to distribute those funds, we as a committee here would still have to approve it. I mean, it would be sort of a token vote. There's no reason we wouldn't be able to approve it if the board members decided. But so yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Remember, sorry, did you still have a question?
How did the amount come out? Seems like an odd number.
Well, 1 million divided by 6 doesn't come out to a round number. So
so they added 50,000.
50,000. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Any other questions on this? Thank you very much. On another point of interest regarding the DuPage Foundation and the $10 million transformational partnership grants that we have out there, there is a information session for any nonprofits who may have questions, because as I mentioned at our last meeting, the round 3 immediate intervention grants will be coming out later this year. And so there's on February 27th at 11 a.m. there is a Zoom informational session. To register, all you got to do is go to dupagefoundation.org/DCTP to register for that February 27th, 11 a.m. So
there's a press release going out about that today.
Okay.
We go to DuPage Foundation.
DuPageFoundation.org/DCTP.
Will that press release be posted on social media so we can share it?
Please note, Member Garcia, right? For the record, you need it.
I've got one.
Okay, and then finally, I'm going to ask Jason Blumenthal to come up, and he is going to discuss the cafeteria modernization, because there are some agenda items on that today. This is a project we talked about a couple meetings ago.
Good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chair Schwartz. We're this was passed up. Myself and Diane here from Dining Services. What we want to do again, as Chair Schwartz indicated a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I think at this point, you guys did get this presentation in a conceptual way. We wanted to real quick just put it up here so you can see it a little bit more in your face. Michelle, you can go to the next screen. Dining Services team looked at cafeterias in the 505 and 421 cafeterias. It's been about 15 to 20 years since there's been a full overhaul of some of the equipment in there. They did an assessment. They determined that there was some equipment that would need to be replaced, as well as provide some newer equipment that would allow us to expand some services. With that, the new total, I think we originally were at like 189 when we presented to you last time, so a little bit more, but when working with procurement, we were able to get that number down some. So we're at about just shy of $170,000. So it's a little bit cheaper than what we had said beforehand. You'll see that there is 3 items on the agenda today that would be under 7A, 7B, and 7E. 7A and B are the budget transfers required to actually get this money into the care center account to pay for these, and 7E is actually the purchase of the equipment. So as you're going through this year, next slide, Michelle, or if anything you have on that. portion of the buyer, okay. Again, some benefits we want to reiterate. This is allowing it so we can be more inclusive in regards to dietary concerns throughout the cafeteria. This gives them some ability to ensure food is separate, for individuals who are vegan, gluten, any other dietary needs of that nature, as well as it's going to expand the menu base a little bit. Some of these new pieces of equipment will allow some personal pizzas, as well as sauteing and whatnot with the stir fry that we do, and a couple other options presented.
Yeah, really increase the efficiencies for our staff.
And that's the key thing.
Speed people through the cafeteria. They have more time to enjoy their break time when they're sitting at the tables
And
instead of waiting for food.
You might cover this, but just a quick question. I think we talked about this when you talked about the cafeteria a few weeks ago, but is this a break-even proposition or a profit center for the county?
so, and you can update me if I say this wrong. Currently, the cafeteria is used as a revenue stream to the care center. Any profits made and or revenue generated by the cafeteria does go back to the care center and used for residents as well as operational needs. Obviously, it's an investment, so at some point, yes, I guess break even would be the appropriate way to. I couldn't tell you what the ROI is. I know that was asked last time by Vice Chair Childers, but it's dependent upon many factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another big positive though is this is also a huge employee benefit in the regards of having something right here on campus. You can walk in, on cold days like today, you can walk in. Actually, you'll see, I don't know if you guys saw the cafeteria menu, they're actually doing Mardi Gras in the cafeteria today. So some of these inclusive parts of, we're celebrating certain events that it's also a nice benefit. You can walk downstairs. Breakfast has also been pretty much expanded again, right? From when you last talked to us, it was just sandwiches. However, now they're doing a full breakfast here in the 421 building, which is a huge benefit. You forgot breakfast or lunch, you just walk downstairs and get that. So
Is staffing improved since we talked to you last?
No, but we're making a few changes to try and free up Raphael so he can be here for most of the day. So he's preparing more food here, bringing it to 505. They're kind of working together, but in separate buildings.
And I saw on the DuPage County website that they're hiring some new people for the cafeteria as well. So you're looking for new people.
Always, yep, always.
What are the hours?
In the cafeteria here, it is 6 to 2 or 7, 6 to 2. They're all out by 2, sorry. At the care center hours. They still fall under dining services, so we can use them at the care center as well, but we do try to dedicate the ones that have customer service skills for here. Not everyone that we hire is always wants to work with the public, so.
I just want to say the cafeteria is such a huge benefit for employees. Just think about how much we save in gas, not having to drive to a restaurant here, and how much time we save. And the food is really good. And Rajmi is like my buddy. I really wish she's back here, but it's great. It's such a great service. So thank you for all that you do.
and thank you. I was going to continue with you, but you just summed up where I was going to go next with that. So thank you. Thanks, Michelle. So again, some of this is replacement equipment. It could be refrigeration, warming equipment, display, as well as cooking itself. And then the next slide, I think, is the more fun one, Michelle, if you don't mind, the new equipment. And correct me on this, but panini maker will be getting installed, which means that'll expand to where paninis can be made. The rapid cook oven is allowing personal pizzas, but I believe that's like it's like 40 different things it does, it seems, from how you guys were describing.
Well, yeah, the combi oven, is the one that's gonna be in the back of the house it can do a little of everything. It can grill, it can steam, it can roast, it can do a little of everything, so we can really expand what we're doing here. And then the smaller quick oven, that's for like a 2-minute personal pan, personal pizza, whatever we decide to use it for.
And one thing that was also talked about always is the healthier items, and some of this new equipment allows some of those healthy options to occur. The steamer is a prime example of that, as opposed to frying. Also, I know Raphael cares about this, and I do too, because his pastries are delicious. This mixer is to make fresh pastries, and his cookies are so is his scones. His scones are out of this world. So if you haven't had them, if you haven't had it, we'll have to make that happen.
Next HHS meeting, we need
Let's go.
Depends if we approve this. how good this cookie is.
Maybe when it's all installed, we should do a little testing.
Vice Chair Garcia.
I just had a quick question on the decision behind a gas stove versus electric. I know that there's some thinking that we're going toward electric for more sustainable reasons, and what the reason was that a gas stove was picked.
With the big combi oven, the one in the back of the house, it really, that's all we have to choose from is most of them
They
are
don't have
gas.
electric,
They do
okay.
have electric. We don't have as many options to work with,
Okay.
when we go with electric only, and all the utilities are already in place.
Okay, so it'll be
So
out
it's a
of
real
changing out all the
easy-
electrical
Yeah.
utilities. Okay, all right, that's I just want to know.
Go ahead, guys. Thank you.
Next one. And then just the breakdown of the cost, the 421 cafeteria, it's about $105,000, $106,000, just shy of for all the equipment, both replacement and new for the 421. And Michelle, go to the next slide. The 505 cafeteria is about 63,000, or 64,000, give or take, totaling again that 169,765. With that, any questions? If not, we're trying to be quick, mindful of your guys' time.
And forgive me, Michelle, for not introducing you.
Thank
you.
Oh, Diane, I'm sorry.
Thank God you didn't introduce her.
Diane, introduce yourself. to
Diane and I have
everybody.
known each other for decades.
For
So,
decades. I'm Diane Borski, Manager of Support Services. Care Center.
Thank you. My apologies.
That's okay.
thanks,
Some
Bob.
other questions?
Any questions for Diane / Michelle or Jason? Yes.
Sure, what is the timeframe again? If we approve this, which I'm sure we will, what is the timeframe to get it in?
Depends
get it
on
going,
the
get it-
supply chain issues. The big oven, we were told about 14 weeks out, but now we're hearing it may be a little quicker. But a lot of things it's all over the place. Some things we can get in a week and some things, like I said, up to 14 weeks. So it just depends.
Well, I imagine this item would be on our county board agenda for.
If approved today, yeah, it'll go on board agenda on the 28th, finance net board. So that'll at least get the procurement aspect. We can have the green light to start purchasing that day or whenever the documents are signed appropriately.
And actually for our FM department, for them, they're gonna do most of the installation with the exception of the one big oven. It'll help them if things come in slowly, so they can do a few pieces at a time rather than all at once. So,
Any other questions? Thank you guys very much.
thank you.
Back to our agenda, I need a motion to approve our minutes. Item number 23-0864, minutes from February 7th, 2023. Is a motion by Vice Chair Garcia, second by Member Childress. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to item 6A, I need a motion to approve item HSR 42-23, a recommendation for approval of a first modification to a community development block grant memorandum of understanding with the DuPage County Department of Community Services for single family rehabilitation program, increasing the award amount by $60,000 for a total amount of $219,175,000. And a motion by Member Childers, second by Member Glassy. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to number 7, DuPage Care Center. I need a motion on item FIR 77-23, authorization to transfer $169,766 in the budget to general fund special accounts for fiscal year 23. I have a motion by Member Dessart, second by Member Garcia. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I need a motion on item FIR 78-23, additional appropriation for the DuPage Care Center Fund, Company 1200, Accounting Unit 2000, in the amount of $169,766.
Second.
Motion by Member Dessart, second by Member Garcia. Questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I need a motion on item HSP 4823, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to United Pharmacy Staffing to provide supplemental pharmacy staffing to the DuPage Care Center Pharmacy Department for the period March 1st, 23 to February 29, 24, for a total contract not to exceed $30,000. We have a motion by Member Childers, second by Member Dessart. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Need a motion on item HSP 4923, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Spot On for point of sale system for the DuPage Care Center dining services and other cafes on county campus for 3 one-year periods, March 1st, 2023 through February 28, 2026, for a total contract not to exceed $47,713.45.
Second.
Motion by Member Childers, second by Member Garcia. Questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Need a motion on item HSP 5023, a recommendation for the approval of contract purchase order to Cooks Direct Incorporated to furnish and deliver various kitchen equipment for the JTK Administration Building and the Judicial Office Facility cafeterias for the period March 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2023, for a contract not to exceed $169,765.64
Second.
per cooperative government joint purchasing. We have a motion by member Garcia, second by member Desart. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Need a motion on item HSP 5123, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Performance Food Service for secondary food supplier and chemicals for the DuPage Care Center for the period March 1st, 2023 through February 29th, 2024, for a contract total not to exceed $122,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by member Childers, second by member Glassy. Questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I need a motion on item HSCO 00823, an amendment to contract purchase order 5974001, serve issued to Packaging Hero for corrugated disposable trays for the DuPage Care Center for the period of August 26, 2022 through August 25th, 2023, to increase encumbrance in the amount of $13,960, resulting in a new contract total amount of $27,920, a 100% increase on our item.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by member Childers, second by member Galassi. Questions or comments? Yes, member Desart.
I'm just wondering about, this says an ARPA item, so are we moving past the COVID phase and can we sanitize existing trays? I just think it's not good for the environment to have disposable trays.
No, it isn't, but when units go on quarantine, it's also not appropriate for us to take those off of a
Oh, so these are
quarantine
only for
unit.
quarantine?
Yes.
Oh, just
Only
the
quarantine, yep.
And we are recycling them too.
Oh, you
We're
are, okay.
collecting the trays separately, housekeeping then recycles them. puts them in our
Oh, that's awesome, thank you. I was just thinking, when I read through the packet, I'm like, disposable, I don't like
Right.
that. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. No, good question. Thank you, member Desart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. I need a motion on item 230865, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Equipment International LTD for laundry equipment repairs, services, and parts as needed for the DuPage Care Center for the period March 1st, 2023 through February 29th, 2024, for a contract not to exceed $27,000.
Second.
Motion by member Garcia, second by member Galassi. Any questions or comments?
No.
Do a roll call on this vote, please.
Vice Chair Garcia.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member Glassy.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Childress.
Yes.
And Chair Swords.
Aye. On to budget transfers. I'm gonna ask for a motion to combine items 8A through 8J.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by member Desart, second by member Garcia. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I need a motion to approve item 8A 230866, a budget transfer to transfer funds to cover other contractual expenses for the administration department. Fiscal year 22 in the amount of $241,325. Need a also
He
to
can buy
approve.
him. He's gonna buy him.
Yes, also to approve item 230867, a budget transfer to transfer funds to cover regular salaries. Part of the original salaries were budgeted under other professional services, which were not needed due to hiring staff. Additionally, there are no longer part-time positions for fiscal year 22 in the amount of $60,000. Item 230868, budget transfer to transfer funds to cover employee share of IMRF and social security shortages. Fiscal year 22 in the amount of $525,000 to the DuPage Care Center. Item 230869, a budget transfer to transfer funds to cover overtime salaries due to 2022 shortages. Fiscal year 22 in the amount of $160,000. Item 230870, budget transfer to transfer funds to cover new monthly repair cost of liquid oxygen portables instead of repair cost of canisters. This is a new and never budgeted previously, but will be budgeted moving forward in the amount of $4,000. Item 230871, a budget transfer to transfer funds to cover overtime for budget shortages in account 1200-2080/50010 for fiscal year 22 in the amount of $13,000. Item 230872, a budget transfer to transfer funds to cover budget shortages for unplanned retirement in the amount of $60,000. Item 23-0873, budget transfer to transfer funds to cover operating supplies and materials for the nursing department for final fiscal year 22 expenses in the amount of $47,366 for the DuPage Care Center. Item 230874, budget transfer to transfer funds for the 2022 grant modification for community services block grant fiscal year 22 in the amount of $35,595 under community services. And item 230875, a budget transfer to transfer funds to the correct line to cover point of sale system contract for the cafeteria budgeted for fiscal year 23 in the amount of $14,500 for the DuPage Care Center.
I'll second.
Motion by member Childress, second by member Desart. Questions or comments, member Glassy?
Can I just get explanation on 8C with the,
So 8C, when we were negotiating our union contract with ASME for over 3 years, we had put a placeholder under our contingency for that 2% COLA because the union didn't ask for them to receive it. So when we did that, we put that placeholder there for that 2% COLA. This is that corresponding IMRF and Social Security impact on those wages.
okay,
So it's like we held it, we gave it all to them in a retro, and then this is the corresponding IMRF and Social Security.
great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to item 9. I need a motion to approve item 230876, a travel request database and report specialist to attend the National Human Services Data Consortium to further address reporting, data, and policy needs in Chandler, Arizona from April 2nd, 2023 through April 6th, 2023. Expenses to include registration, transportation, lodging, and per diems for approximate total amount of $2,935.50. We had a motion by member LaPlante, second by member Children. Did I say that right? Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Need a motion to approve item 230877, a travel request, HMIS manager to attend the National Human Services Data Consortium to further address reporting, data, and policy needs in Chandler, Arizona from April 1st, 2023 through April 6th, 2023. Expenses to include registration, transportation, lodging, and per diems for the approximate total amount of $3,435.50.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by member LaPlante, second by member Garcia. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Need a motion to approve item 230878, a travel request weatherization supervisor to attend the Plan Year 24 Grant Illinois Home Weatherization Assistant Program application workshop in Springfield, Illinois from March 8th through March 9th, 2023. Expenses to include lodging, miscellaneous expenses, and per diems for approximate total of $350.
Second.
Motion by member Childers, second by member Garcia. Questions or comments? Member Cousins?
It's only $350. Is there any room for more people to attend?
I don't think more people need to attend this one. This one is specifically for the supervisor regarding the process for applying for the
Oh,
funds.
okay, so it's not really a learning opportunity.
No, it's very much in the weeds, technical about the application process itself. Is that correct?
Okay.
But thanks for the question.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? On to residency waivers. I don't believe we have any. Okay, DuPage Care Center updates now.
I'm happy to report that we don't have any units on quarantine right now. So hopefully the warmer weather is gonna put it to rest forever. Renovation, we are planning our renovation kickoff. So that's coming up. That'll be exciting. And we sent the paperwork to the Illinois Department of Public Health for the CON or certificate of need that's needed for the project. So get started.
Any questions? Quick question for me. So renovation kickoff, what does that entail?
It's kind of like a groundbreaking with the shovels and dirt, but since we're not doing dirt and we're actually going to be doing a sledgehammer wall smash.
Oh, that's fun.
When is that?
You're invited.
We'll all be invited, I'm
Week in
assuming.
March. Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you very much. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Thank you.
Community services update, Mary Keating.
Just a couple of very quick things this morning. As we spoke, the social media post about the Transformation Partnership went up on the county board Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So it's there for you to share that. You probably also got the email with the press release from Evan. So that all came out during the course of this meeting. I just want to make a comment about budget transfers. So all departments have been notified that sort of going forward, budget transfers will be done in real time rather than waiting till the end of the year to do a lot of cleanup. So what will most likely happen is throughout this year, you'll see a lot more budget transfers. In some ways, that's good, and in some ways, we may end up chasing money back and forth between line items, particularly with our grants, depending on types of assistance or what our staffing levels are, or did we have to put in overtime or did we not? But what we've been told is that for commodities and contractual expenses, invoices can't be paid until the budget transfer has been completed. So just a heads up that that there's a different way of operating this year, directed by the finance department. So I see Janelle in the corner of my eye.
Well, I was
nodding.
fully prepared for questions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you'll probably be seeing them a lot more throughout the year, and not so much, at the end of the year, that kind of final cleanup.
Can I make a comment on that real
Yeah.
quick? So when you talk about, especially with healthcare and a lot of ours for the departments where we either didn't need to pay overtime because we filled a position, or we needed to pay overtime. So it's moving money from salaries, regular salaries, part-time salaries over into overtime, or the subsequent occurs. So we often wait till the end of the year just for those. Otherwise, they have budget control logs. Each department head in my building has to track their expenses. So while there is still budget transfers that occur, there's far less than what would occur if they didn't track their expenses appropriately. But with the wages, it's difficult. If you wait till the end of the year, you're doing it once, so if we were not, then we would be doing it multiple times. So I hope that provides some clarity.
Yeah. So just a heads up on that. Last week I was able to attend the NACO. I'm on the board of directors of the National Association of Counties. So I was able to attend the NACO legislative conference. Thank you for your continued support of travel. But I'm also on the NACO Housing Affordability Task Force. There's about 30 of us from around the country who are working on recommendations for counties across the country. So I'm pretty excited about the framework that's been developed. We meet again in May, and then we'll have a report ready at the NACO annual conference in July. It will be, the idea is to sort of have categories of consideration, and then best practices, guidelines, suggestions for counties, both, urban, suburban, and rural, some home rule, some not, some CDBG entitlement communities, some not. So really trying, what I said was, my analogy was, it's like we're creating a menu, and you would kind of, back to Jason, if you're looking at the menu and you're gluten-free, you know that there's only certain things that you can do. So that's kind of the kind of thing that we're trying to come up with. But I have to say, I was incredibly impressed with the group. There's county commissioners and staff level folks from, like I said, about 30 different counties across the country. So I'm very excited about what's going to be, what we're going to be producing, what we're learning about things that are happening in other parts of the country. So that's great.
And I just want to say thank you for serving on those committees. I know, it's not part of your job responsibilities, but the value that you bring to DuPage County and certainly our residents is huge. So thank you so much for doing that.
Well, I hope that I bring back as much to the county as I feel like I get professionally out of it. So yeah, I really enjoy it and I appreciate the support.
Also good to see you off the crutches.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long 4 months, but I'm done with cane. So
All right.
I have my own durable medical supply closet in my house. I've got a wheelchair, 2 kinds of walkers, cane, crutches. I got it all.
Looking good. You're looking good. Moving good too.
Replacement, let me know. I can hook you up with.
All right.
All right. Do we have any old business? Seeing none, do we have any new business? Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
Member LaPlante, second by member Sotos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.